Check, check, check. Sound check on the Barbatos wallpaper. Check, check, check. Sound check on the Barbatos wallpaper. Hello there. Welcome back, people. Thank you for joining me today for this chill Monday painting stream. I think I have all my link sharing done already. I just gotta get all the lights and stuff in position. Like usual, let me know if the audio levels are off. Gonna mute the mic for a sec. Alright, let's see how this setup works. The tournament I was supposed to be painting these minis for has since passed because I ended up deciding to take the old Spires army to the tournament, which ended up being the right decision because I won best painted at the tournament. I should probably wait to tell this story as more people roll in so that those of you here at the beginning don't have to hear me say it over and over. And great news, today I will actually be drinking a can of Conk Zero, so we're going to get some burping going on, those of you who are missing it in the recent streams. So we should reset the record back down to 0. should have changed my water before the stream. I'm gonna do that real quick so we can rehydrate the palate with some clean water. Okay, sorry about that. I spilled a bit of water on the floor as I was doing that, so I had to wipe it up. So what's everyone up to this fine Monday afternoon? It's afternoon for me, I suppose it isn't for a lot of you. How many of you watching are from the Gunpla side of things, and how many of you are for the Conquest? I've noticed there's been a little uptick in my channel analytics that I can only assume has been happening because of Gundam Assemble just being a topic of discussion in the various niches my channel's in. Alright, I guess I should give you a look at everything I'm working on today. You got this is the 5 remaining minis from the current batch of painting I'm doing. After these 5 are done, I need to move on to building for a bit. But this is just the command stand for the household guard plus the noble lord. I'll probably just work on the noble lord for a bit here first. Last thing I was doing was working on the red on the cape here. I think I'm gonna work on purple now though, because the purple cloth is underneath the red. So I want to finish the purple first because I'd rather clean up the mistakes of purple getting onto the red than the other way around, if that makes sense. Purple shouldn't take too long as well because there's way less of it. Also, we're gonna crack the holy can now. Ooh, that's the good stuff. There we go, burp 1. Immediately interrupt the painting process. Alright, for our purple, we've got our good old royal purple game color. I have bought a new bottle of the new formula of this for when this runs out, because I've had this one for a while. Now, the current purple that's on here had armor wash put on it, so it's already been darkened down a bit, so we're going to highlight it just with the base of purple, because even though it hasn't been brightened up yet, just because the first layer was stained with the black, this will act as a nice subtle highlight. Still should thin it just a little bit for slightly smoother application. And let's hope the camera can stay well enough in focus throughout. There's some undesirable particulates sealed into the paint here. I just let them get a bit too dusty. But you know, we are painting a miniature army and not a display model, so I, as I've said before, I take a bit more of a speed paint approach and I don't worry as much about those little imperfections. This brush is feeling like the tip leaves a little bit to be desired, but I'm going to try and paint with it just a bit longer. And this under bit, I don't really need to paint that much because it's mostly hidden. I just have a bit of the loincloth here, which is really almost like edge highlighting because the folds are more tightly packed. Conquest faction, the Euroni. Okay, we can start adding some of the highlight color now. Which isn't in my little tray here, but it's right next to the desk. Got good old blue violet. Also a fairly old bottle that I have a replacement on deck ready. And for the first bit of highlighting here, I don't want to add too much of this because it's pretty bright, so even mixing in a little bit makes a pretty big difference, as you can see, as I hope you can see. Ooh, a burp too. I don't think I'm gonna be breaking any records today, but you never know. And by records, I mean like my personal record that is on screen. As my I don't have any, I mean, I got some slightly fancy widgets on the stream, I guess, but the burp counter is like the most iconic one, obviously, or the most integral to the brand identity. That's what I keep telling myself. I'm kind of using some of the black on the palette here to just darken down the paint that's available so I can like just dip back to the shading bits, kind of work on the fly, you know, good old wet palette stuff. Hashtag just wet palette things. Anyone else working on any scale models or miniatures or tabletop related things today? Alright, I think one more, maybe two more rounds of highlights good for this purple. Time to squeeze another drop. I should have stored this bottle upside down so the paint actually runs down. I think I can get enough though. Oh, maybe not. We need to do some vigorous shaking. Okay. I don't have one of those fancy paint mixers. Grab the dollar store mixing brush and not use the nice one. Yeah, I'll probably do one just of the most subtlest of highlights, just a little bit brighter after this. At least for this model, because they're the character model, they deserve a bit more attention than the command stands in general do, but especially the characters. Since the last stream I did, the 100 Kingdoms have gotten a full-on rework, and it is an exciting time to be a 100 Kingdoms player, let me tell you. Coming at just the right time, because the Spires are feeling a little haggard and beaten down after doing the last 3 tournaments I've played with the Spires. So it's time to just be going hard on the 100 Kingdoms and Nords for a while. Burp 3. I think the Spires will always be my one true faction though, so we'll be back. We'll be back for sure. I got lots of unbuilt Spires models, so you know, once I get a bunch of them built, I'll be hankering to get back into those musty underspires and directorate board room meetings, you know. Just grabbing a bit of the black to pull these highlights back a bit. This layer I'm painting right now, I'm applying it like a little thicker than it should be because I thinned the paint just a little bit more, so this paint's just gonna be more transparent. See if it works out. I am kind of like experimenting a bit here. I'm just opting to reactivate some old paint on the palette rather than like put on more. Now I'm just kind of spread, instead of trying to add more paint, I'm just spreading around this stuff while it's still wet. Okay, I think that'll look good with just one last little sharp highlight on top of it. Hello, Silverback Creations 21. Glad you like the mini. The 100 Kingdoms are the kind of European-style human faction from Conquest, which is a fantasy wargame. Not sure if you know about that. But yes, this noble lord here has quite an epic cape game going on. I think I can still get away with using this brush. Although, okay, do I even have a more thin brush? I guess I could. I'll try using this one. I imagine the wet palette at the end of this project's gonna look nice and chaotic. I think the tip on this smaller brush isn't that much like sharper than the brush I was using before, but it's more like the general smallness of the brush will make it easier to not like make these lines too thick accidentally. Whereas with the other one, because it's got a bit more of a wider belly or whatever it's called, if I push too hard, the line will get too thick. And that can happen with this as well, but like less so. Okay, I think we're good with the purple on this for now. Now, since the purple on the palette is still a little wet, I think I'm gonna go to the purple on another mini before I go back to the red cape. No, not every mini has purple. This one has some... Oh, well, this one has purple on the banner. I wasn't entirely confident in like the color select. Okay, I think I need to change like these details in the middle here to silver, gold, or maybe both. And then I'm not sure whether this tassel should be changed to red to match these ones or not. I think that's what I need to. Okay, well if that's the case, I can get the purple highlighting on these bits done pretty quick, so I should probably just do that. Just use what's on here right now. So we're starting a bit brighter than is typical, but we can just blend back down. There's not too many sections to do here. Just starting with the brightest bits. The edgiest of edges. I've known ever since I built this banner that it's gonna be a bit of a challenge to paint. But you know, we're finally tackling it, and we're going at it with excitement, not trepidation. Yeah, I'm just gonna do a real quick and dirty attempted dry brush on these ropey bits here. Definitely want to figure out the purple, or like get this purple done and then paint the white. So if we paint the white and then do the purple, it's gonna be a lot more annoying to fix the inevitable mistakes. Yeah, I think we're gonna change this tassel to red. And we do have a little bit of purple rope and a very annoyingly positioned tassel at the back here. Don't have to put in a ton of effort to paint it though. Gasline stuff is fun. Thank you for the compliment. There are people out there that can't paint with shaky hands. Oh, burp 4. Oh, I just realized I never updated the burp counter for burp 3. Yeah, I think there was a channel I saw a video from years ago, Silverback. It was called Tyrannosaur or something, and he had a whole video about painting with tremors. So, you know, some people have found ways. But, you know, everyone has different ways to enjoy the hobby, so if you can't paint the same way as I can, that doesn't make your enjoyment of the hobbies or interest any less valid. Nice. That sounds like a good friendship then. Alright, I don't know if I really need to do much else to the tassel bits here. I'm just gonna work on this little purple strip here. And if I work fast enough here, I can almost sort of get a little wet blending going on. course, the finesse here partly comes from like when to know you've done too much highlighting, because if you do too much, then you need to like go pull it back again on the next step. Nice, sounds like you got a good symbiotic relationship there. You can trade up and stuff. It's made it easier for me to not have to worry about learning how to 3D print, because there's so many advantages to being able to 3D print. It's like I've got, you know, a couple friends where when I do need something printed, I can get their help, and because, you know, they're the ones that have the spaces where they can 3D print and the knowledge and practice, and I can trade them with favors like painting or something, or some plastic. Yeah, I feel like I've arguably spent too much time highlighting this section here. I've like gone too bright and then try to correct it, but then go too dark. Feeling like I'm almost to the point where I'm satisfied. The other thing is like the more layers of paint you apply, the more like texture and brush strokes show up, which, you know, sometimes that's a desirable look. It depends. I'm not looking for that too much here though. I don't want this cloth to look like tattered per se. Alright, I feel like I should probably just leave this for a bit. Maybe I'll touch it up a bit later. That's good enough for now. The only other model with purple is this kit bash, originally for a retinue. And I know the trim around his waist thing here, it's definitely going to be purple. Maybe some bits on the shield. That is burp 5. It felt like that was worth 2 burps though. And adding a significant dollop of royal purple back onto the palette, because there are some deep crevasses we need to get into here that would definitely need the darkest version. might paint some bits of the shield purple and some bits white. I haven't fully decided yet. I could get pretty fancy with it. I should have painted this little gap in here red, I think. We'll have to come back to that later. Possibly back when we're doing red, unless I can think of something else that would look better. I did a bit of highlighting on the red here already. Thankfully, I didn't finish the red highlighting here, because it makes sense to finish the purple trim first and then do the red, I think. Either way, I think there's going to be a decent amount of back and forth with the cleanup. I think I need to switch to a better brush. Yeah, this little dip here, I don't know whether I should just continue the red and purple thing on the... Yeah, I guess I should. Hello, Tim Scott. I appreciate those messages, Tim Scott. That's very reassuring to hear that that's the message you took away from watching my videos. It's yeah, it's like exactly like you say, you can just paint them however you want, because you're painting it for yourself. So thanks for that thoughtful comment there. I'm sorry I can't give you a live Gundam painting demo right now, but you know, the thing is, I'm just a miniature painter that paints his Gunpla, or paints their Gunpla like miniatures, so... It's like I'm painting, or the way I'm painting this 100 Kingdoms kit bash right now doesn't really vary that much from how I paint a Gundam at the end of the day. But everyone paints in their own way, and that's what's so interesting about the hobby. This purple trim on this white bit here also is another example of a spot where I should have done the purple first before doing any other stuff. I think I kind of spontaneously painted the white parts just when I was painting the white on something else and wanted to use up paint that was on the palette. A surprising amount of painting is just trying to figure out the right order and how to paint things. Welcome, Country Fried Minis. What's up? 5 burps in 40 minutes is what's up, you know what I'm saying? I'm humbled that you have notifications turned on, Country Fried Minis. It was an exciting week at work because the store I work at, the big shipment from the BattleTech Mercenaries Kickstarter finally arrived. So like for months, all the local BattleTech nerds have just been like foaming at the mouth, waiting for this Mercenaries expansion to come out, and then we finally got it, and all the BattleTech heads just flocked down to the store, all excited, and now all the salvage boxes are gone already. Everyone's just really thirsty for that low stakes gambling you get from opening a BattleTech blind box. Oh, there we go. Burp sticks. Glad you like those boyos. Let's update that burp. But yeah, the last two streams I didn't have any carbonated beverage can cracks, so they're pretty lacking in the burps department. So I thought for this stream I should compensate a bit and have a Coke earlier in the day than I usually do. Crazy, right? Also, for anyone watching, definitely big recommend to go on over to Country Fried Minis' channel and watch their slappin' videos full of good painting and humor and robots, and sometimes not robots. So I think I'm going to be a little masochistic with this guy's shield. We're going to paint the stripe in the middle. Oh, focus. We're going to paint the stripe in the middle purple. No. We're going to do this section purple. And then fill in the outside of this shape with white, I think. Maybe we'll just do both the middle. Yeah, we'll do both the middle sections in purple, I think, actually. And that should be a decent balance between the secondary colors, I think. Oh, I need to remember to paint this bit purple. Oh, and this bit. A little bit of spillage there in the middle. It's an awkward spot to fix. I might just have to leave that. Alright, let's move on to the shield here. BattleTech care package, oh boy. Well, you know, no rush. Take your time. I appreciate you either way, especially checking out the stream. See, I'm not worrying too much about like spilling over onto the ridge of this that has metal, because we're definitely just gonna have to have a cleanup phase for that later. And I'm probably gonna be a little masochistic and do a bit of freehand on these shields like I did with the various other bits of this army. Kind of makes the armor wash I put onto this section a little redundant. But, you know, when I applied that wash, I wasn't sure what the plan was, so... Sometimes there's a plan, sometimes there's half a plan. Well, let's mix this purple that's on the palette to be a bit brighter and just start highlighting. Whoa. Burp 7. Big excuse me, I guess. I feel like the purple I have mixed up for this right now is a bit too bright. But, you know, usually when it dries, I change my opinion on that. I'm not sure how much of like a gradient I even want to go for here, because at a certain point it kind of just distracts from any freehand work I might be planning to do. Oh, thank you for the $10 super chat, Otaku Builder. It doesn't look like it's come through on my streaming software yet. Hopefully that notification updates soon for the proper credit, but thank you either way. Also, saw your Instagram posts and really sorry to hear about that. If there's any, like, charities or anything you want to share in the chat, by all means, go ahead. But, apologies if you didn't want that brought up at all and just want to lurk inconspicuously. Either way, thanks for swinging by. Happy to have you here. I hope the Streamlabs updates, though, because it's annoying if it doesn't. Hello, Hugo. Welcome back. Okay, we just need to add a bit more of the brighter purple in. Yes, it is a super sticker. It's like it's showing up in the YouTube chat box fine. It's just like I have the widget programmed on the stream overlay to update whoever the latest super chat was. And then there's like a little animation that plays on the screen as well, and that should have happened by now, and it has not. So that's just slightly annoying. Because I like people to get a little treat if they do a super chat, you know? Or a treat and a little credit. Yeah, maybe I need to log back into the website. Streamlabs definitely isn't my favorite piece of software. Don't mind me as I just click through this login. I'll hold the mini on the screen so you at least have something to look at. But thanks for the pointer, Country Fried Minis. Okay, alert box. Yeah, you know what's up. You know, or we both know that the people like getting that little hit of serotonin when they give us a little tip. Test, YouTube. Super chats. Oh, the test works. Wonder if I can... The alert widget in Streamlabs. Okay, let's see. I can switch. Oh, there we go. It's updated now. Well, it's updated on my widget, the animation. I don't know if it played for the latest super chat. But that's all we need to do for the purposes of this stream. Back to painting. Apologies for that brief interruption. I think I should stop on the shield for now. Otherwise the same thing will happen with the last, or the purple bit on the banner where I just keep going back and forth and back and forth. Just rounding out the middle here. Making it a bit even. Okay. Let's move on to the waist cloth here, or whatever you call it. The skirt. And because we've already laid down the foundation of the royal purple here, I don't need to worry too much about super even coverage when applying this layer, because we got a good foundation already. Ooh, I'm just in the zone now. I think I'm hunching over too much. I should lower the chair a bit. I would be streaming again tomorrow night, but I've got to go into a special movie screening. There's a theater near me doing like a David Fincher week, so one of my friends organized a trip to go see the movie Seven in IMAX, which is not something I thought I'd ever get to see. I've seen the movie before, but you know, obviously not in IMAX. And I'm working during the day tomorrow, so next stream could be Wednesday at the earliest. Depends on how work goes. As usual, I will maintain my my bad YouTube technique of not having a stream schedule. Or that's just not bad YouTube technique, just bad content creator technique. You know, business as usual here in the Mayhem zone. I think I need just one more round to highlight, just a tiny bit though. Oh, thank you for the $5 super chat just to retest that Streamlabs. I mean, the latest super chat widget did update right away. I haven't seen if the little animation is played yet, unless I missed it. But thank you for the super chat regardless. Goes a long way in helping me finish this painting project and exist in general. Back to the petite brush. Give these rivets a little highlight. And again, here I go with the back and forth on the highlights. So predictable. I do have to be somewhat mindful of which edge I'm highlighting here on the skirt. Trying to go for like the outermost one. armor's gonna need a bit of touch up on this guy. But, you know, just like with the batch I was doing before this, that'll just be saved for the cleanup stage near the end. This is pretty close. Yeah, I call this definitely my tabletop standard, which is like higher than the average standard of what people consider tabletop quality, I'm guessing. I definitely could be, like, I am feel like I'm holding back here, mostly just because, like, painting for a rank and flank game, the more I paint for a rank and flank game, the more I realize that's like it's so much more about just like making things greater than, or the sum of things greater than the sum of their parts. It's like the more minis that are painted standing next to each other, it's like a force multiplier in terms of the presentation level. So it's like the consistency is a lot more important about like the nailing all like the fine details on each mini. My spires, getting them to like a tabletop standard is a lot quicker. Because the paint scheme relies a lot more on dry brushing and such. And you know, the stuff I'm painting right now in this specific stream, these are like the command models for the unit, so the 12 members of the unit I was painting before this, I was probably a bit more closer to that tabletop standard level. But in general, like, I have a bit of a hard time speed painting per se, because I just like always end up putting in a bit more elbow grease anyways. Yeah, tabletop standard plus. Yeah, if you don't hold back a little bit with the rank and flank, you're kind of like setting yourself up for burnout. Now, do I switch to red or white? Probably red. Gonna switch to red and also switch back to the Noble Lord mini. And that was a burp 8. We got a burp 8, people. Just a low one. Now we've been streaming for an hour, alright. Hello, Cyber Scorpio 94. Welcome. Okay, I think we aren't just gonna reactivate the red that's on there. We're just gonna add a little dollop of our brightest level, which is model color Scarlet. Just adding a bit of that. I'm using it to reactivate yesterday's paint. So we'll do this shade and then one more on top of it, and that might be enough to finish the red for the Noble Lord, because we did kind of get halfway on it yesterday-ish. Upon initial glance, this looks like it might be a bit too bright, but let's see what happens. Let's see what it looks like when it's dry. It's pretty thin. This cape also has some unfortunate texture that got sealed into it, or like some dust or particles or something. But you know, like we were just saying with Country Fried Minis about tabletop plus standard, if we let all those tiny imperfections get to us, we'll just burn ourselves out. At a certain point, you just gotta keep going forward and accept those imperfections so that you can have a finished army, which will always look better even if there are some imperfections. A finished army will look better than an army with a few models that are like painted absolutely perfectly in it. An army that's completely finished with a bunch of mediocre paint jobs usually looks way better. I read your mind, Country Fred Minis. I am painting red. Red and purple and blue are like some of my top colors to paint. So, you know, painting this 100 Kingdoms army with all the flowing cloth and all the red, purple, and blue I've able to get in there. It's a good time. What I have less of a good time with is painting the human faces, but you know, it's important to get good at that if you're a miniature wargamer. So this army's been a good excuse to practice painting human faces. And I feel like I've improved a bit. Still feel like my hit rate is like a 60% in terms of like getting like a really solid human face painted that I'm happy with. But this cape here on this infantry noble lord is a painter's dream, I tell you. Except maybe like some of the seam lines you get with it and the way it's put together. But the way the sculpt of the model is, I'm not sure how they would have gotten around that. Dust, the bane of every finished job. You can say that again. My arch nemesis always gets me. I guess maybe it's an appropriate time to tell the story I was holding back on at the beginning when there was less people, but I didn't end up bringing this 100 Kingdoms army to the tournament that I was originally painting them for, because the desire to play with a fully painted army won out, and I brought my spires again. And it paid off once again, bringing a not optimized army list, because I won the best painted award. Got a little prize, which was nice to get something, because in terms of the actual ranking of the tournament, I came in like 13th out of 18 people, I think. But like I got the nice plaque that says best presentation and then a certificate for best painted. So with that, now that I've done 3 tournaments with the spires, so next tournament we're gonna take a break from the spires and taking a break from worrying about being fully painted. I say that now, but by the time that tournament rolls around, I might be like, I can't just not bring a fully painted army. Depends on how much painting I get done. The next tournament I'm supposed to go to is in a month, and with the other work I gotta do, like that's not a ton of time to get a new like army painted that's like a decent army list, but we'll see. Alright, before I go do more highlighting on that, we're going to move on to some other models to get red on them. Gonna do just a quick dry brush on... Oh wait, I can't. I'll have to deal with the red on the banner probably in another session, because I need to repaint one of the bottom tassels to have the purple base instead of the red base. Speaking of purple, here I go again, just bringing back this highlight just a bit. Okay, back to red. Let's try and get these nooks that we missed in the base coating stage and see if I can get away with just using what's currently on here. to wait and see what that looks like when it's dried. Yeah, it's highlighting stages like what I'm doing here is where I start to go into like the tabletop plus quality of painting level, because it's like if you're just doing like basic tabletop level, I could have just stopped where it was at probably. So I'm gonna have to retouch up these purple spots I'm painting at this very moment, but that's just because I neglected to paint the red. Or I missed that spot of the red the first time around. And of course we got the upper bits of cloth here. Just need a little bit. Also, I should have painted the leather bits on this guy earlier so they could have gotten the armor wash, so that's another just inefficient step as on these guys, but I think that's mostly a symptom of just not knowing which colors are going to go where before I start painting. Sometimes it's fun to figure things out on the fly. Just see where the brush takes you. Alright, let's see how the highlighting on the red bits of the shield goes. Let's see if there's as much back and forth. Red, purple, and gold. So regal. Yeah, red and purple in general. Goated color combo. The scarlet model color paint by itself is like a little weak in terms of like its coverage, but I'm almost always using it as just like a highlight to mix into the base colors. So I haven't had too many issues with it. I've heard some people complain about it before, but like they were trying to just like paint on a solid base coat of it, and it wasn't going so well. Oh, House Merrick, nice. What's the House Merrick sigil in BattleTech? Oh, I guess we got the Drill Master here, or no, this is the Arms Master. Got a bit of red flowing cape to work on here as well. Pretty happy how this guy's face turned out. It looks a little shiny right now, so once I get some matte varnish applied, I think it'll really come together. Purple Burb. The stuff from that recent Mercenaries Kickstarter I was talking about arriving at the store earlier, the stuff that intrigued me the most was like the objectives model pack, and it had like an artillery truck, a communications truck, and like a cargo truck. And I just thought those minis were like super charming. The like various vehicles and support stuff in this Mercenaries expansion is just pretty charming in general. Nothing like some cute little tanks to add to your force of robots, am I right? Whoop. Sorry, dropped the mini, but it's okay. I paint on a Magic the Gathering playmat. It softens the blow. It's like the Magic the Gathering playmat's like the painting mat, and that's on top of like the Galaxy desk mat that you see in my videos usually. So we got like 2 layers of neoprene padding. Mostly there to stop my elbows from getting as sore when they're propped up on the desk, but has the bonus of protecting minis when I drop them. But yeah, if you have a force of, or at the store I'm at, one of my coworkers has a lot of Battletech minis, so he's got a force with like a lot of different robots and the vehicles and the like iron elementals or whatever they're called. And they look great together. Alright, we got the leader of the household guard unit here. He's got a bit of red we can do some quick highlighting on. Another cool product that came in with the Mercenaries Kickstarter is they have that like enlarged scale Mad Cat display model, which is just like a fun little thing they got in there. Okay, with this feather here, we're doing almost like a bit of a dry brush. I'm kind of on the fence as to the whole like white feather in the middle, these 2 red ones here. I think I'm gonna stick to it for now. Can always change my mind later. And on this tassel bit on the halberd, I'm just trying to use like the side of the brush for the most part. Oh, nice. Yeah, that'd be fun to do a commission for one of those Mad Cat models. Also, hello, Sugar Candy Miniatures. Welcome. I'm happy to provide you some dinner time entertainment. I'm sorry I've already finished my can of Coke Zeros. As you can see, we've reached 8 burps. That might be the cap, but, you know, maybe there'll be a leftover, like, resurgent burp. YouTube says you're not allowed to super chat me. Why not? Why would that be? This needs to be looked into immediately because it has to deal with me earning money. And it says monetization is on, so it's probably something on your end, if I'm guessing. But, you know, don't worry about it. You could also try it if you want. If you really, really want to do a donation, you could go to the Ko-Fi coffee link. Should be in the description, or it's also just on the screen. I have that program, so if you donate through there, there should also be a stream notification that pops up that, in my opinion, like, is more entertaining. But, you know, don't feel bad if you can't donate. It's no biggie. Okay, we need to... Before we go to the brightest red highlight, I'm going to go back to the dark base color just to color correct this one tassel on the banner real quick. Also, this has to be like the largest banner on any mini I've ever had. Fun fact. I mean, I haven't measured it against other banners I've painted, but I feel like this is the biggest one on like an infantry banner at least. You got a cool Warframe motorcycle now. I mean, going by just the general design of the Warframe characters, I can imagine the motorcycles look pretty sleek. Alright, I'll go back to our noble lord now. Almost at an hour and a half. Wasn't planning on streaming for... I was planning on just streaming the normal time between like 90 minutes to 120 minutes. Perhaps closer to the 90 minutes. If I have my dinner meal plan remembered correctly. Now, which brush is the most appropriate for highlighting here on the flowy cape? This one, maybe? Let's see how the tip does. Tip isn't great on this one. This part's going okay, but I can mostly use the side of the brush. I think we gotta switch brushes. The cafe racer look. What's a cafe racer? I don't know bikes. It's going on pretty thick there. You can really see how much brighter it is. Too thick, perhaps? We're about to find out. Oh, Fiverr, I got Me and Blue Parappa got some Gunpla in the mail today that she had ordered as a little present. And I got this an Iron-Blooded Orphans kit, which is like the Gushin. Imagine the Gushin, you know, our beloved thick boy, but with like heels that are twice as tall, that are like rocket high heels. So I have that now, and it's called the Man Roadie. And Blue Prep also got this very silly Gundam called the Reversible Gundam, which just has like the jankiest transformations ever. It just has like a backwards cannon mode and then like a backwards tank mode, and it like looks cool from one angle, but then if you look at it from the other angle, it's like, that's just a crumpled up Gundam. What the hell? So, you know, classic Gundam transformation, basically. Well, I mean, the Man Roadie is like a big rotund boy with big rocket high heels, so yeah, very cool. Just imagine it rolling onto the battlefield with the current background music playing. I mean, if you think that's a silly Gundam, have you seen the title of the Gundam show that's coming out? I can't remember if I had messaged you about it, but the one where it's like G, Q, and then like 8 U's in a row and an X. So like you read it and it's like Gundam G Kooks, but it's pronounced Gundam G Kawakusu. There's some Evangelion heavy hitters working on that show though, so I'm interested in checking it out for sure. The design of the Gundam's got some things I like, some things that are a little jank. I'll have to wait and see what it's like. I feel like there's too much contrast on these bits of the cape, and I gotta brighten up the midtones a bit. Gonna just go throughout the whole cape with this brightest color before I go back to the midtones though. And as you can see with the painting the face and hair on this mini, I went for the badass regal grandma look. It's a very silly name, which is nothing new for Gundam, so everything is in its right place, I say. Oh, we're falling off the paint handle. I'll magnetize these paint handles one day. You know what, maybe... No, I'm not gonna lie. We do need to fix the contrast just a little bit. But I gotta make sure I don't overcorrect it. Like usual, you know? I have to say, painting this noble lord has been... Other than the skin bits, it got a little bit frustrating. Everything else has been a blast. Okay, I think we're good for now. Okay, I'll have to look up those motorcycle terms. Cyber Scorpio, thank you. Cafe Racer sounds like a classy kind of bike. As far as I can tell. Alright, back to the brightest of highlights, and we're back to Hammerman here. And don't need to do... I gotta make sure I don't overdo it too much with these. Almost going for a bit of a stippling motion. Again, I want to make sure I don't overdo it here on the shield. probably stop there before I overdo it. Plus, I think I still... Well, I'm not sure if I want to be freehanding on this. I probably will, though. Let's be honest. Alright, okay, I'm gonna add just one little more of a dollop of the scarlet. I think I'm only gonna paint for another 5-10 minutes or so and then wrap up the stream. This last bit of the batch is gonna take a while to finish still. I did just want to make sure I got one more stream in with this project. Perhaps you'll see another one this week, but not sure. The next stream, or the next project to be streamed after this one will be, I mean, it's a project I've been doing a bit, just recording anyways already, but then there's a few bits I think I can do during the live stream, which is working on my Nords, doing some live kit bashing probably. Like, a lot of the kit bashing is done already, but most things haven't had their heads attached, so we'll just have a head assembly stream. Or perhaps building, I still have to build the whole unit of trolls and the Finner beast pack. Then I got one clear color gunpla kit I've just been saving for a live stream chill build. There's too many minis I need to get painted for tournaments though. Because the conquest tournament scene here in Alberta has been popping off. Excuse me. Ooh, I'm feeling some acid reflux now. Probably means I should take a dinner break. Ain't that the truth, sugar candy miniatures? Alright, see ya, Cyber Scorpio. Alright, back to the leader model. Yeah, I might be applying a bit of a wash to these feathers and the tassel on the halberd here just to fill in those details, or fill in the recesses a bit. And just doing a bit of a pseudo dry brush here. Maybe less of a dry brush, more of a side brush. Now it's become more of a dry brush. Now we're going to a bit of the darker reds and gotta build up on this border shape up here. Sorry, I've become significantly less chatty in this last portion. Yeah, it's a pretty fun banner. You know, it takes a bit of the pressure off to do any freehanding. I think these bits I painted gray here, which is, you know, a base coat for white, I think I'm going to change those to be like silver and gold. So I think that'll complement the red and green that's in there better. Yeah, once I'm done working on the red on this banner, I'm going to wrap up the stream because we're past hour 45 now, so it's kind of getting to that time. That bunch of water I just chugged is keeping me going for now, but I feel the hunger approaching. Yeah, are you painting a particular skirmish force or game minis to play for a game of Adepticon, or you just talk about like painting competition submissions? Oh, nice. Yeah, I figured there was a chance you'd be. This year would be the year of Snack 28 at Adepticon. Are you, do you have, like, anything formal, like a panel that, like, made it, like, to the schedule at Adepticon? Or is it just, like, you find a table to set up at and then just, like, post and be like, I'm running demos here. Come hang out. All right. We're gonna start wrapping up the stream now. Oh, nice. That'll be fun. Mordheim demos right next to Mordheim demos, but it's tasty. Or, you know what I'm saying. It's like, Mordheim. Never mind, Mordheim. Snack 28 is like Mordheim, but with candy. Totally accurate statement I made there. Well, you heard it here, folks. Anyone going to Adepticon, make sure to check out Snack 28. Get a demo from Fiverr. You won't regret it. One of the most innovative skirmish games on the market right now. I believe people can still get it at itch.io. Thanks, Hugo. You too. Well, thank you kindly, everyone who checked out the stream today. Much appreciated. Whether I stream again this week, not sure. But either way, I hope you all have a great week. And that you all have some enjoyable hobby projects or tabletop gaming times yourself. Well, on that note, have a great